I want to give a quick testimony because I love testimonies and so does God. About 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago now, give or take a month or two, I left my son's father after he told me he was going to unalive me. I escaped. I said I was going for a walk because he often didn't let me leave the house. I said I was going for a walk. I went to the police station. They helped me get out of that situation. A domestic violence organization that helps women in domestic violence situations bought my plane tickets back to Pennsylvania to stay with family. I was staying with family. My dad and his girlfriend did not want me there, so I was technically homeless, waiting for an apartment to open up. And while I was staying at my dad's, his girlfriend was covertly trying to abuse me, saying and doing things behind closed doors when nobody else was around. The entire time, the few months that I was there with my son, I was trying to bite my tongue and get out of the situation. I was so upset with God. Days, whenever nobody else was home, I was crying and knees on the floor, face to the ground, asking God, why did you allow me to go through all of this? Why did you allow me to go through the furnace, to go through this fire? I told God in my prayers, I said, God, I'm so mad at you right now. I'm so hurt by everything that happened. I'm so hurt by other people. I'm so lost. I don't know where I'm going next. And I found a local church to go to, the first one I have ever really been to. And I remember the worship song that they played was the song Oceans. And I still love that song. But yeah, moral of the story is I was so lost and so confused. I couldn't see much of a good reason why God would allow me to go through all of that. And I couldn't see where my life was going from there. I felt very, very hopeless. I felt unwanted. I felt trapped. I felt stuck. And in that wilderness season, I kept my eyes on Christ. Sometimes when we go through very hard situations, just like in the book of Job, the enemy wants to use that to pull you away from God. In the book of Job, the devil said, to God, I bet I could get him to turn away from you. And God said, try anything you want, just don't take his life. And in the end, Job got blessed twofold of what he had taken from him because he kept his eyes on God. So that's what I tried to do, is just keep my eyes on God, try to keep my focus on healing and on my son and trying to keep my head up despite what I was going through, and felt like I had pretty much nobody. Also during this time, a friend that I had for years at that point had turned on me and took my ex aside, knowing everything that he had done. So I felt betrayal, just like in the book of Job. Job's friends betrayed him. It was a very, very hard season for me, and I was just honest with God. Like in the book of Job, he's honest with God about his feelings. And I never would have guessed where God was taking me and where it was leading to. See, when I lived with my ex, where I was in Shelby, Montana, I had applied for these apartments that I had moved into a month before I left. I signed a lease. And as I was getting ready to leave, I put my name on a wait list for all the apartments that this specific landlord company has in Montana. And one of them was in Missoula. So about a year later, when me and Mick were living in Nebraska, which I was not expecting to ever go back there, but there I was in Nebraska, and in perfect timing, our names came up on the wait list to move to Montana. And I just think that's so beautiful and so awesome. Like whenever you trust God, walking through the valley of the shadow of death, that you don't stop walking because God has a plan.